We're doing another Am I the A-hole? Okay, let's see what we're gonna get into today. Okay, this one is called Am I the A-hole for calling one of my kindergarten students' father selfish for sending their child to school when they have the flu. Okay, now this is reaction videos. I'm reading this so in real time. I, female 26, have been teaching kindergarten for 3 years, but has been working with children outside of my home since I was 16. I had my fair share of rude and distasteful students and parents, but I have never been in this situation before. Anyways, today was the first day back to school after winter break. I honestly missed my students, so I have planned for today to be a very chill day. We would be doing some activities for lunch, but then after I decided to put on a movie. Okay, reminds me of, when I went to school. Maybe 20 minutes after the bell rang for class to start, a student of mine, let's just call her A, came up to me complaining about not feeling good. Since class had just started, I told her she could put her head down for a few minutes, and then I would see if I had to call her dad. Okay, now here's something to know. I, as a divorced parent, so 1 week she was with her mom. A has divorced parents, so 1 week she's with her mom and 1 week she's with her dad. This week she's at her father's home. After getting my other students started on their work, which maybe took 15 minutes, I went to check on her. She told me she was still feeling very awful. I felt her head and she was completely burning up. And that's when you know you need to send their butts home. Like she shouldn't have came to school at all burning up. I just said that. Lucky she was sitting at my desk, so I am the only person to risk of getting sick. I ended up calling her dad, and while on the phone was ringing, she confessed that 2 days ago her father had taken her to the doctor and it was told that she had the flu. Okay? Don't judge yet, Monica. Now I was furious. What parent sends their sick baby to school? I asked if there was a reason, and this poor baby told me that her stepmother forced her to go because she didn't want her little sister getting sick. Now A is one of my best students, and I really wanted to give this baby a hug, but I didn't want to pass it down to other kids. Her father finally answered after the second phone call, and I explained the situation, and he just said that he knew that A should stay at school because he didn't want his other kids getting sick. At this point, I was beyond pissed off, and I asked, instead of taking care of your sick daughter like any other parent would do, you send them to school so they can get other children sick to protect your other children? He was about to answer, but I ended up telling him how selfish he was and told him I would call her mother. Good for you. That's what I would have done too. Call the mama. A's mother was furious when I told her that she was told she was sick, but I guess dad and stepmom didn't care. After that situation was over, A was safely with her mother. I ended up reporting it. When I came home and told my mother what happened, she kind of lectured me, claimed she would have done the same if her stepkid was sick. Am I the a-hole? Well, your mom seems like an asshole too, to be honest. I meant like it's your mom, not you. You are not an a-hole. This dad did not care about the whole class getting sick and then 50 families getting sick. And I have children of my own, and it runs rabid, having a split household. It runs rabid, going through all the households, 10 plus people sick, and then it's like it circles back around. And you don't want to send your kid to school, especially if they've been told they have the flu, or if they're not on antibiotics, or if they have a fever. That's the first thing. I check my children's head, and if they don't have a fever, their ass is going to school. Because sinus infections and stuff like that, or just a common cold, they have to run their course. Okay? And it just depends on how bad it is. But let's see what Reddit says. Reddit has deemed you not the a-hole, sweetie. One comment says, you acted correctly. Your mother sucks. What the fuck? That's what I say. And then another person wrote, agree. And then another person wrote, would you believe me if I said that the school literally sent out reminders on Monday? That's why I was so pissed, because they completely disregarded it. Wow, you are not the a-hole. Let's see. Am I the a-hole for leaving my brother's NYE family gathering after what I was hearing them say? A little background info. My boyfriend is 25 and I am 24. We have only been together for 5 months. And I have not met his family yet, besides his mom, until yesterday. Around 6 yesterday, I drove over to my boyfriend's aunt's house. She was hosting a family gathering for NYE. I met up with my boyfriend, who was chatting with his cousins. I met them and my boyfriend took me around to meet everyone. I didn't drink because I drove myself, but everyone else was drinking, including my boyfriend. Everything was going fine until his grandpa sparked up a political discussion. I'm not political, so I really wasn't interested, but the conversation went towards a more racist tone. Yikes. I am 1/4 black. I don't really look black, but I obviously don't look fully white. My boyfriend is aware of this. His family began talking about black people in general in a bad way, and his grandpa started talking about people who have died to police. I fully checked out and left whenever I heard the N-word drop. That is so disrespectful. I didn't let my boyfriend know I was leaving, and most were too drunk to even see me leave. Got home and slept, woke up this morning to a message from my boyfriend asking me why I left. I told him his family were being racist. And he said they weren't being racist to you. That's what they just like talking about. What the fuck? He was telling me I shouldn't have left without letting him know, and that I am just looking too deep into it. I don't know where to go from here. I haven't messaged him back, and I'm not sure if I'm going to. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I haven't been able to reply back to any, so I thought I'd put an update. I messaged back my now ex-boyfriend, good for you, honey, because you don't need to be in a family like that. I told him I really was not comfortable about what his family were saying, and I felt very disrespected when he didn't do anything about it. He knows about my heritage and still didn't say anything about it. I'm incredibly disappointed in him and his family. I don't blame you. And I decided to break it off with him. He didn't take it well. He insulted me and I had to resort blocking him on everything. I'm not going to mention the insults because they are pretty bad and will probably get me banned. That's it for now, but thank you for all of the advice and the comments. Okay. You are not the a-hole at all. I would have damn left too. That is so disrespectful. One commenter wrote, they weren't being racist to you. It's just about the saddest and dumbest excuse for racist behavior I've ever heard. Amen. I think you've learned everything you need to know about your boyfriend and his family. If you're smart, you'll cut him loose. She did. Another Redditor wrote, that sounds like a code for don't worry, you don't look very black, so they won't target you. Like, thanks. That's as underhanded as it gets. Yes. Another person wrote, I'll bet once family found out that she was part black, it'll have been full racism to her face. I would run from this family cesspool. Definitely. You do not deserve that at all. And she did run. She did. She left. She is not with him anymore. And you do not ever have to deal with someone being disrespectful to you like that. Here's another Am I the A-hole story. Am I the a-hole for reporting my sister-in-law to animal control? During Thanksgiving, we were at my sister-in-law's house to celebrate. She had several inside and outside dogs near the end of the night. She had several dogs, inside and outside dogs. Near the end of the night, one of her kids came in to complain about a German Shepherd outside dog. The dog followed him in and everyone backed away. The dog was severely emaciated and looked near the verge of death. He held his head down and tail tucked between his legs and went straight for the inside dog's food. Sister-in-law grabbed a handful of dog food and let it back outside. Hubby and I both told her she needs to feed it more and maybe go to a vet. Definitely. She blamed the kids, 10 and 17, as they were supposed to feed him a handful here and there. Mind you, there's 3 of them back there, and she's saying they get a handful of food. She also admitted that her Pomeranian she had was killed by him. He ate it. Supposedly the dog ate her Pomeranian because it was so hungry it ate another dog. That is crazy. Monday after Thanksgiving, animal control showed up and inspected all the dogs, made them take it to the vet, and eventually surrendered them. Good. Brother-in-law's mad that he had to spend the money on them. They have plenty. If you can't take care of a pet, don't get a pet. Sister-in-law has banned me from her house. Laugh out loud. I don't like going and do my best not to. Father-in-law says I should have just stolen the dog and taken care of it. Cameras in back and 3 large dogs. I don't know. The whole family was officially shunned me by now. I think it's funny. I'm being shunned and that she banned me. They always dislike me because I'm a different race. Am I the a-hole for reporting it? No, you are not the a-hole for reporting it. You saved those dogs' lives. They were getting abused. Animal control said they were allowed to keep some of the dogs if they looked like they were in a good condition. They were allowed to keep it. No charges or other monitoring will occur. Reddit has dubbed you not the a-hole. One Redditor wrote, "No, those poor animals, you were their angel." Another Redditor wrote, "You did a wonderful thing." Another Redditor wrote, "No joke, she saved the dogs and removed any need to interact with her racist in-laws. She's a winner all the way around." Another Redditor wrote, "Not only that, but one of the dogs killed and ate another from starvation." That's what I said. It could have attacked a child. That is true. You get so damn hungry enough, you might. Really sad. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Am I the a-hole for saying my sister-in-law should cover up the tattoo of her ex's name? It is extremely noticeable and on her wrist. I find this incredibly distasteful for her to have the name of someone who was not her husband so visible on her body. And yes, it is extremely noticeable. It was the first thing I noticed when I first met her. My brother has also disclosed to me privately that it does bother him when people assume that that's his name. He refuses to tell her to get it removed, cover up, because the ex died of an overdose. And even though it's been years, she's still upset about it, which is a whole other convo, but not the point of this post. So I told her at Thanksgiving, after our 9-year-old niece asked her about the tattoo, she said someone very special to me, that it was very confusing to children. And if my niece is confused about it, imagine how their own kids will feel. And she got very mad at me. My husband and brother also told me I shouldn't have said anything, but it was afterward that my brother told me it does in fact bother him, which I already knew anyway. Our New Year's, we were all drinking and playing a stupid game, and I drank when the question was, likes a partner with tattoos, and she decided to take that personally when I wasn't even thinking about her. She literally cornered me in the kitchen and said, "If you have something to say to me, then go ahead and say it to my face." Legit wasn't even thinking about her, but since she brought it up, I said I thought it was incredibly distasteful and borderline emotional manipulation of my brother that he doesn't say anything about removing it. And I asked how she would feel if it had Miranda, his ex, in giant letters on his arm. And then she and my brother both got pissed at me and ruined the evening. I'm being told by my aunt and some cousins I have to apologize because they're going around talking shit about me. Am I the a-hole? To be honest, you are the a-hole. That was someone that she shared a piece of her life with, and they passed away, so she got a remembrance tattoo on her wrist to remember them by. It was someone that was special to her. And if she had it before she met your brother, that was her decision. He knew that she had the tattoo. He knew what he was getting into when he married her. So yes, I think you are being an asshole. You think it looks bad. I don't know if you have tattoos yourself, but yeah, you need to drop it and you need to apologize. I mean, I have a remembrance tattoo on my back from my grandma, and it's a ladybug, and I actually got that when I was with my husband. You know, everyone has, that's none of your business. Let your brother and her tell their kids about the tattoo, about who the person was. So yes, you're the asshole. And to be honest, Reddit dubbed you the a-hole too. This person wrote, who are you to tell her what to do with her body? Who are you to judge if and when someone is over the loss of a loved one? Did she ask you if you find her tattoo distasteful or not? And how is it confusing for children that someone has the name of someone very special to them tattooed on their hand? And anyways, if your child in particular is confused, it's your responsibility to explain it further, not hers. And it sounds like an easy task too. You are not just the a-hole. You're also exceptionally unkind and meddling in a relationship. If your brother doesn't have the guts to tell her, by the way, that still doesn't make it your business. Amen. Another person wrote, you're the a-hole. From the title alone, mind your fucking business. That's funny. Oh my god, this person wrote, you're the a-hole. Do you have asshole tattooed against your arm? If it's not, you may want to consider it. Mind your own business. Exactly. So a lot of people have dubbed you the a-hole. I'm sorry you feel that way about her, but